It was supposed to be a moment of pure joy, yet it became one of the most unsettling questions the BTS fandom has faced in years. On August 7, 2025, the group's long-awaited reunion video was released by J-Hope on Instagram, featuring familiar laughter, warm embraces, and the irreplaceable presence of members V, Taehyung, RM, Jimin, and the newly discharged Suga. But as millions of fans replayed the video, a single, glaring absence turned celebration into concern. Jungkook was nowhere to be seen. And then, as if to pour fuel on the fire, Taehyung posted a cryptic social media update that many interpreted as a direct reference to the missing member. What exactly is happening inside the world's most influential boy band? The footage captured the members gathered in Los Angeles, sharing an atmosphere that seemed effortlessly intimate. RM's calm smile, Jimin's warmth, and Suga's signature no scrunch, his rare, heartfelt smile, stirred deep emotions among fans who had not seen him in such a light since before his military service. Thousands of comments poured in, with many expressing tears of joy. But beneath the euphoria, a wave of anxiety rose. BTS was together again, but not complete. The youngest member, the Golden Magne, whose presence has always been magnetic and essential, was conspicuously missing. In the hours following the upload, ARMY's focus shifted from the reunion to the mystery of Jungkook's absence. Then, Taehyung's Instagram story appeared, a silhouetted image of himself standing on a balcony at night, gazing out at the city lights, accompanied by the words, "Sometimes, the ones who are absent are still closer than you think." The timing, the tone, and the vagueness of the message sparked a frenzy. Was this reassurance a warning or a subtle revelation? For years, Taehyung and Jungkook have been celebrated as one of the group's most unshakable bonds. Their friendship, often highlighted in fan events, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, carried a sense of authenticity that strengthened the group's image as a family. Seeing them laugh together, share inside jokes, or simply stand side by side was a constant comfort to millions. That is why the sudden absence of one, coupled with the cryptic words of the other, hit fans with such intensity. Adding to the tension was the silence, not just from Jungkook himself, but from every other member in the video. There was no mention of him, no visible acknowledgement that someone was missing. For a group that has often been transparent about schedules, absences, or health-related issues, the void of information was uncharacteristic and unsettling. In the days leading up to the reunion, Jungkook's public presence had already been minimal. His last confirmed appearance was weeks earlier, with no live streams, no personal updates, and no official activities since. International fan communities began tracing his movements, digging into airport sightings, speculative schedules, and past interactions with the other members. Theories multiplied, ranging from personal health issues to private commitments abroad, but the lack of confirmation left every possibility hanging in the air. Some fans connected this moment to earlier, subtle signs. In a fan Q&A earlier this year, Taehyung responded to a question about collaborating with Jungkook by saying, "We can't always be in the same place at the same time." At the time, the comment was dismissed as a casual remark, but now it was being revisited with far more gravity. Was this a quiet signal that there had been growing distance between them? The emotional weight of the reunion video only intensified the speculation. Suga's joyful expressions, Jimin's affection toward the members, and RM's relaxed presence painted a picture of unity, one that, ironically, highlighted the missing piece even more. Fans described the moment as beautiful yet incomplete, a bittersweet gathering that could not hide its emptiness. On social media platforms, discussions became more layered and more emotional. While some argued that Jungkook's absence was likely due to scheduling conflicts or private obligations, others insisted that the tone of Taehyung's post suggested something more personal, perhaps even strained. The possibility of a rift, however unlikely it may seem, was enough to trigger fear among those who have followed the group for more than a decade. What makes this situation even more complex is the nature of BTS's relationship with its fandom. Over the years, the group has cultivated a sense of closeness and transparency, making the absence of information all the more glaring. When there is silence, the gap is quickly filled by speculation, and speculation in a fandom as passionate as ARMY can spread at lightning speed. In the absence of official explanation, even the smallest details began to be examined. Camera angles in J-Hope's video, the members' body language, the choice of location, everything became a potential clue. Why was the reunion in Los Angeles rather than Seoul? Was Jungkook traveling elsewhere at the time? Was there an unspoken reason for the gathering itself? One unverified sighting claimed that Jungkook had been spotted at Incheon International Airport on the same day the video was posted, wearing a black hoodie and walking alone without any visible staff. This detail, if true, only deepens the mystery. Was he leaving South Korea as the reunion happened? Or was his schedule deliberately kept separate? Taehyung's words, meanwhile, have refused to fade from the conversation. The story's caption has been quoted, analyzed, and debated endlessly. To some, it is a poetic reassurance that Jungkook remains close despite physical absence. To others, it is a pointed remark suggesting that closeness is not always visible, a sentiment that could hint at unseen tension. For those who have followed BTS from the beginning, the emotional stakes of this moment are high. The group has weathered challenges before, military enlistments, solo projects, and even long periods apart, yet the members' bond has always been presented as unshakable. Now, with one absent and another speaking in riddles, that image feels tested in a way that many did not expect. Analysts of Korean pop culture note that in the tightly managed world of K-pop, public absences during significant events often carry weight, whether intended or not. A missing member can become a symbol of change, uncertainty, or even internal conflict, depending on how the narrative unfolds. And when the absent member is Jungkook, arguably one of the most recognized and influential figures in global music, the impact is magnified. The emotional impact on ARMY is evident. In fan forums and comment sections, messages oscillate between worry, hope, and outright sadness. Some write about missing Jungkook's voice and presence, while others plead for clarity, expressing how much they value seeing all 7 members together. The image of Taehyung on that balcony, paired with his cryptic words, has already become one of the most discussed and dissected posts of the year. As the days pass, the silence continues. No direct statement, no casual reassurance, no behind-the-scenes clips showing Jungkook's whereabouts. In the vacuum, the questions remain relentless. Why was he absent? Why did Taehyung choose that moment to post such a message? And perhaps most hauntingly for fans, is this the beginning of a change in BTS that no one was prepared to face? Until answers emerge, one fact is undeniable. What should have been a joyful reunion has instead become one of the most emotionally charged and debated moments in recent BTS history. And for millions of fans around the world, the absence of Jungkook is not just a missing face in a video, it is a void that carries too many possible meanings, each one harder to accept than the last. The longer the silence stretches, the heavier the weight of speculation becomes. Each day, without clarification, fuels an environment where rumors thrive and uncertainty overshadows celebration. ARMY, known for its dedication and investigative tendencies, has been tirelessly dissecting every possible lead, combing through older interviews, live streams, and interactions for any subtle sign of a shift between Jungkook and Taehyung. This isn't the first time fans have tried to read between the lines, but the intensity of this search is unlike anything seen in recent years. The emotional investment is immense because BTS's public identity has always been built on trust, togetherness, and the promise that even through challenges, their bond would remain unshaken. In some online discussions, veteran fans have pointed out that moments like this are particularly sensitive because of BTS's current chapter. With military service staggered among the members and the group's schedule less predictable than in their peak touring years, every public appearance carries more symbolic weight. A full group reunion, or something close to it, isn't just an event. It's a reassurance to the fandom that despite the changing circumstances, the essence of BTS remains intact. So, when one of the most prominent members is absent, the missing presence becomes louder than the laughter in the room. Taehyung's role in this unfolding situation is especially complex. As an artist known for his expressive, often enigmatic social media posts, his words have always been open to interpretation. Fans are aware of his tendency to share poetic, layered thoughts, sometimes without direct context. Yet, in this instance, the timing of his statement has been impossible to separate from Jungkook's absence. Even those who believe the post might have been unrelated acknowledge that it was released at a moment when emotions and questions were already running high. Industry observers also note that BTS's interpersonal dynamics, while deeply genuine, have always been subject to intense public scrutiny. In a group that has grown up together in the global spotlight, any hint of distance, real or perceived, can become magnified to the point of distortion. The reality of long-term collaboration is that members will have differing schedules, personal priorities, and private lives that fans may never fully see. But the optics of absence in a moment marketed as a reunion create a narrative that is difficult to contain once it takes root. For now, ARMY's emotional response is a mixture of protectiveness and apprehension. They want answers, but they also want to believe in the stability of the group they have supported for over a decade. That belief is part of what has allowed BTS to transcend music charts and become a cultural phenomenon. When the foundation of that belief feels uncertain, it resonates deeply. As speculation continues, one truth stands out. Jungkook's absence has transformed what should have been a simple, celebratory video into one of the most analyzed and emotionally charged BTS moments of recent memory. And with Taehyung's words still echoing in the minds of millions, the wait for clarity has become not just a matter of curiosity, but a test of faith for the global fandom.